Alrighty, let's get packed for this trip. Got some weights, soccer ball, stretching strap. Forgot this other 25-pound plate. And, a drill with my T25 bit. Alrighty, gotta zip that all up. Oh, jeez, almost forgot. Tommy Tamago's gotta come with us on this trip too. Now, we are ready to go. Let's just clip in and head to the airport. I got an email the other day from a student of my back pain fix program, and previously she had told me she was really excited that she had cured her back pain with exercises in my program. But then she went on a trip that required her to lift some luggage onto a scale at the airport, and when she went to lift her 50-pound bag, her back went out and she was not happy. And if you've ever thrown out your back trying to pick up a pencil or a ball from the ground and just tweaked something, or you had to lift a heavy piece of luggage and you just felt like you couldn't do it safely, or you just totally threw out your back and embarrassed yourself at the airport, then you're probably wondering why this happens and how you can protect yourself. So in this video, we're going to talk about why you randomly throw out your back and how you can avoid it in the future with some smart, simple strategies. Let's go. And hey, before I forget to ask, I want to know where you've thrown your back out. Was it in a train station, at the airport, getting into a taxi? Drop me a comment down below. Okay, I lied, we're not going anywhere, but let me tell you some truth. You spend most of your life pretty sedentary. You sit in a chair doing office work, doing whatever it is you do, or maybe you're on your feet all day in the same position, standing at a counter, doing whatever, dealing with annoying customers, and then when you get home, you sit down on your butt, and then you are staring at your phone for hours and hours, which you then interrupt by staring at a screen. Most of the time, you're smashing your butt muscles, and you're never subjecting your back muscles to much movement or stress. In other words, you're not training your muscles to be able to do much of anything. Just think, when was the last time you did a nice deep bow while keeping your knees straight and keeping your spine straight? If you're like most people and you don't work in a theatrical troupe, or you are not the Japanese Prime Minister apologizing for a grave mistake, you probably haven't done a deep bow like this in a very, very long time. And here's the big fact you have to remember. If your muscles are not used to doing something, they're not going to be able to do it when you want them to do it at some random time in the future. Imagine that you've never done push-ups for the last 15 years. Maybe you don't even have to imagine, maybe that's the truth. Maybe some drill sergeant comes up to you and says, hey, if you can do 25 push-ups right now with good form, I'll give you $1,000. And you go down to the floor thinking, yes, $1,000, I can definitely get that. Oh, I just got to do 25 push-ups. I used to be able to do that when I was 16. Let me do, God, my elbow. God. Man down. Morphine. So if you aren't challenging the muscles of your shoulders, your back, your butt, and your legs to be able to lift some weight every now and then, you're not going to be able to lift a heavy weight when the time comes. And we need to pause for a second to talk about how much weight you're lifting. The student in my back pain program, we'll just call her M because it's kind of like James Bond, had been using weights, like light weights, to do hip hinges because that was in my back pain fix program. But she had never gone ahead and used heavier weights and was just sticking to lighter weights to avoid overdoing it. Just a quick interruption here. If you want to check out my back pain program, you'll find it at uprighthealth.com/DIY. It's called the Back Pain Fix. And while you are there, you can also get a free program, the Body Rebuilding Basics. You'll find it on that page at uprighthealth.com/DIY. It's got free workouts and free strategies to help you improve your focus, improve your sleep, improve your posture, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, everything. So go get that while you're there. All right, let's get back to it. For many people, just starting to use a light weight like 5 or 10 pounds to practice doing a hip hinge, a deep bow, or a deadlift motion can be really helpful because it starts to stretch and strengthen different muscles all along the backside. It can help your shoulders, it can help your back muscles, your butt muscles, your hamstrings. And while this is a good start and will help loosen up some tight feeling muscles and start building a little bit of length and strength in these muscles, it's not the end all be all. you actually need to start using heavier weight if you want your body to feel more resilient. So now I'm going to tell you what I told M, which is if you want to be able to safely lift 50 pounds of luggage, you have to train your body to lift more than that so that 50 pounds never feels like a struggle. Think about this logically. If I ever want to be able to lift a weight that's this big comfortably, I can't just exercise using a weight that's this small. I have to gradually build up so that I can lift something this big, and then if I want this to feel easy and safe, I want to use weight that's even heavier and bigger so that this feels easy by comparison. Now, a lot of people have some internal resistance to this very simple and logical idea because they've been told by doctors that the safest thing you can do to protect your body from injury is to just stop using your body and avoid touching anything that stresses your body in any way. But that's essentially saying the best way to protect your body is to just stay in bed wrapped up in your blankets all day. And if you actually did that, your whole body would start hurting a whole lot as your muscles and bones wasted away.
Now I'm officially safe and I won't die. This is actually surprisingly comfortable.
The real key to preventing back pain or shoulder pain or hip pain or knee pain is to actually train your muscles to deal with varying levels of stress. You want to make sure that you have some basic flexibility so that you can get into various positions that you need for daily life. Many people can't even touch their toes. They can't even bend their knee and reach their shoelaces, and that's a real problem if you then need to pick up a heavy piece of luggage. It means your lower body muscles like your butt and hamstrings aren't flexible enough and almost definitely are not strong enough to handle a heavier load or an awkward position like one you might have to get into while picking up your luggage. It also means that you need to train your flexibility and train the strength of these muscles so that when you are called upon to lift up something that's heavier, your muscles are used to it and aren't going to freak out and go, oh God, okay, somebody take this. So let me show you a simple way to build length and strength in your butt muscles, your hamstrings, and in your back. So you're going to start off with no weights. We'll have them here because we will use them and you should use them in the future. You're going to have your hands on your thighs. You're just going to keep your spine straight, meaning the shape that it's normally in when you're standing with a little curve here, a counter curve up here, and then another curve right here. So you've got that S curve. That's going to stay the same. That curve doesn't go into this. You don't turn it into a big C. You keep it the same. And then you think about pushing the butt a little bit back, keeping your hands close to your thighs, just brushing down your thighs, and you're folding right here, okay? So now your hamstrings are gonna feel like they are stretching and lengthening. Many of you trying this for the first time are looking at me and saying, what the heck? There's no way I can bend that way. You gotta be kidding me. Maybe you're a ballerina, sure, whatever. Stop with the negative self-talk and stop with the excuses and stop calling me a ballerina. You should be able to achieve a 90-degree bend between your thigh and your torso. That is not ballerina level flexibility. That is like basic stuff, okay? So just being able to bow like this is all we're looking for. If you get only a couple inches here and you're like, oh my God, this hurts so much, you can do this. Bend your knees just a little bit and then see if you can go a little bit further. You can hold on to the wall, a bench, a chair, something in front of you, and just support it there. And then you can try to straighten your knees a little bit. What I don't want you to do is bend that spine while you're doing this because you might actually hurt your back doing that. So stay within a comfortable level of challenge. Really feel into the challenge that you're getting there. And breathe and just feel for the restriction. I want you to actually pay attention to where that restriction is. Don't dissociate and try to think about something else. Really focus on where you feel the restriction and breathe into that, and that will gradually start letting go. It might take you a week, it might take you a couple weeks to start feeling this really get used to the deeper positions. It might even take you a few months, and that's okay. So once you've got an idea of where these sensations are supposed to be. We're on the right track, and then we're going to start pushing things a little bit harder. But again, listen to your body. Do this at your own pace. I'm not telling you to push super, super hard on this. Be safe. So in the first couple weeks, you're just using your own body weight to tension the hamstrings and the glutes a little bit, and you're just getting them used to the idea of lengthening. But for many people, just doing this isn't enough because it's not enough leverage to really get the hamstrings to loosen up a little bit and also to get more strong and comfortable in that lengthened position. So that's where it becomes helpful to use weight. So you can start off with something like 5 or 10 pounds, something that feels safe, that you feel confident with, nothing that feels like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this. You want something light so you can get used to this, and you're gonna keep that weight, again, close to your thighs. You're gonna start hinging just like you've been doing, and when you get to that end point, now you can just hang out, and you've got the extra weight that's pulling you just a little bit more deeper into the position. Breathe, let those muscles lengthen, and know that those muscle fibers are being trained to lengthen and also manage this load. So that is the language that muscles speak. If you give them time to get used to handling that extra weight, they're gonna be a lot better at handling your luggage in the future. But remember what I said about sticking to just light weights? Yeah, we're not just gonna stick with light weights. Once you've gotten used to this light weight, there are 2 things I want you to consider doing to get stronger and longer hamstrings, butt, and back muscles. The first is to turn this into a bit of a strengthening exercise. You're going to do this as a straight leg deadlift. So you're just going down to the end of your range, trying to get a little extra range, and then you fire your butt muscles and your hamstrings to stand back up. You're not doing any massive explosive movements like this. You're just keeping it under control, nice and steady. Try to get a little extra range at the bottom. Make sure that you're trying to keep your spine in that nice shape. It's not curling just to get closer to the floor. And then you maintain that shape as you stand back up. As you feel comfortable, and if you feel like you need more weight, you throw in a little more weight. So you could use an extra 5 pounds, potentially an extra 10 pounds, and then try the exercise again. You want to just keep going, getting deeper, and being able to come out of it so that you feel safe with that weight. So this one, I believe, is 12 pounds. So I went from 5 to 12, and then I would just every couple weeks consider whether I want to add a little bit of weight. So let's take a second to talk about when it's safe to add weight. So let's say you're doing your deadlifts with 12 pounds. When you can do 3 sets of 8 pretty comfortably without feeling any strain or struggle, with really good form, you feel like your range feels great, you feel like everything feels easy peasy, you can very safely add 5 to 10 pounds of weight. Should you add 5? Should you add 10? That's up to you. If you add 5 and you feel like, yeah, this is still really easy, then you can add 10. And once you've added weight, you should pay attention to how you feel when you do the exercise. If you feel like, yeah, everything's still pretty clean, but I just can't do as many in each set, maybe I can only do 3 sets of 5 before I'm getting really tired or feel like my body's getting really taxed, then you're probably right at the right spot. But if you feel like, ooh, as soon as I try to do this, I am just out of control, shaking, I can't even breathe, then that's too much. And if you've added weight and it's like, yeah, this feels exactly the same as before, then you can probably add just a little bit more weight and see how you feel then. It really all comes down to listening to your body, observing how much it's struggling, and then adjusting the challenge that you're giving it. As you gradually increase the challenge, your body is going to meet that challenge and will be able to meet that challenge on a regular basis in the future, as long as you don't try to make a huge stupid jump that injures you. So what I would never suggest is going from 5 pounds to 40 pounds because you're just going to throw something out. Now you might be asking, if I want to be able to lift a 50-pound piece of luggage without throwing out my back and feeling really comfortable and confident with it, how much weight do I need to be able to lift in my training? And the answer is more than 50 pounds. And if you want a more precise numerical answer, then I would suggest you take your target number, so in this case 50, and you divide by 0.7. That's going to give you a bigger number, which is actually around 70 pounds. But if you want to be even safer so that you feel even more strong and comfortable and confident with your heavy luggage, then I recommend you go up to 80 pounds or 90 pounds or 100. So that means if you've got dumbbells, this is 40, I would need to have another 40-pound dumbbell in the other hand for a total of 80 pounds while I'm doing the deadlift. And yes, I can already hear the naysayers saying, no, that is too dangerous. No human being should be able to lift 80 pounds. And I totally understand why people think that way. Many of our doctors have told us relentlessly for decades that the best way to stay safe and strong is to not touch anything that would ever stress our bodies whatsoever. But any animal that lives a life in a cage that's never subjected to physical stress will turn into a blob and die a sad, depressing death. And in some experiments, the animals will just take drugs to numb the pain of such a boring existence. So to be clear, you don't have to become Arnold Schwarzenegger at his prime, you just need to build a safe reserve of strength that allows you to pick up stuff that you might reasonably be picking up in your life. If you know you're going to be traveling and lifting 50 pounds of luggage from time to time, then it's a good idea to train to lift around 70 or 80 pounds pretty safely and easily, and then just keep gradually bumping that up as you feel you can in a safe way. You don't have to lift 400 pounds, but being able to lift 100 pounds means that you're never going to throw out your back lifting up a little piece of paper from the floor or trying to grab a piece of luggage and huck it onto a bus somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Knowing you have the strength and flexibility to move your own stuff safely and easily in a variety of situations will give you confidence and will make you feel a lot better about your body and the direction of your life, wherever it may be taking you. And I also want to point out that medical research over the last 20 years has pretty consistently shown that learning how to lift weights and gradually training your body to be stronger has nothing but benefits. The only downsides are when you do things that your body is not ready for and you hurt yourself. But if you do it gradually and safely, you improve bone density, you improve your overall strength, you lower your blood pressure, you improve your ability to process sugar, you do all sorts of good things, and it's basically free. So if you are trying to prevent back pain, I strongly suggest you start off with this one simple movement, and then you can branch out and explore all kinds of other options when you feel ready. But this one movement is so basic, so simple, and so fundamental, it is one you should aim to perfect no matter what other things you explore. And we should also talk for a second about how to program this into your daily life. I don't want you to start doing this every single day as hard as you can. Start off with just Monday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Saturday for the first week, 2, maybe 3 weeks. And then you can gradually increase the intensity and the frequency. So maybe you want to do it 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, maybe a little extra weight some days, a little less weight some days. You want to just pay attention to how your body feels. Overall, I want you to remember that slow is safe and fast is foolish. Do not cripple yourself with soreness. If you feel like, I'm gonna do 40 pounds a day and you feel like everything just is too sore to do safely, don't do it. Just use a lighter weight that day, just groove in the pattern and get used to doing that hinge motion so that your body just starts feeling a little more limber and it realizes that you're gonna ask it to do this on a regular basis. That's going to help bulletproof you when the time comes when you need to heft this heavy piece of luggage so you can get to the hotel or just to the taxi without having to pop a whole bottle of ibuprofen. If you want to check out my back pain program, go to uprighthealth.com/DIY and scroll down to the back pain fix. And while you're there, you can also get a free program, the Body Rebuilding Basics. It'll help you sleep better, it'll help you live better, it'll improve your focus, it'll help you with your posture and your hips and your shoulders. There's free workouts, free tips, and strategies to help help you improve all aspects of your life. You can find it again at uprighthealth.com/DIY. Let me know if this video helped you improve your back health and your ability to lift your luggage and avoid back pain by dropping me a comment down below. YouTube and I think you'll like these videos that you'll see right here, and I hope you subscribe, that you like this video, and click the like button. And as always, I hope you remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't. Just kidding, it's not that heavy. It's only 50 pounds. It's not that bad.